Hi everyone, so this video is part 3 of my cacti and succulent updates for spring, and I'm going to go over all my seedlings. So I tend to get very bored over the winter break, and that's when I tend to buy a lot of seeds. That's what I've done this winter break, and I wanted to try a new way of germinating the seeds, so most of these have been sown in plain vermiculite. For the most part, it's done well. In some cases didn't do so well, but I'll go over that. I will post a link to the video below where I got the idea from. In that video, it shows this method working very well. The nice thing about vermiculite is if for whatever reason it fails, if the seeds are large enough, you can fish them out and try again. This one is Mammillaria pectinifera, and I planted this last year, and this is doing very well for me. And this one is Ariocarpus kotschoubeyanus, variation albiflorus. This one was also planted last year and only 3 survived, but the 3 I have are doing very well. And this one is Mammillaria lenta, also planted last year, only 1 survivor, but the 1 survivor is doing very well as well. If it looks wet, it's because I'm watering as I go along each one. This one is Pseudorhipsalis amazonica, and this one I planted last year. I previously had 2 seedlings, but one of them has since died. So this one is the only survivor, and it's just pushing out that new leaf in the middle. This one is incredibly slow to grow, and I usually have a cap on top of it to keep the humidity in. So these 2 are Submatucana calliantha. So this one I germinated in cotton, and then this one I germinated in vermiculite. This one germinated faster, but they started to become leggy, so I've put them in this pot. And there's 3 here. 1, 2, and 3. This one was slower to germinate, but the actual seedlings look better. They're more plump. I think I may have to repot this. The vermiculite over time tends to flatten, so it doesn't really hold that much water anymore, so may have to do that with this one. These 2 are Echinocereus gentryi, subspecies cucumis. So this one is just regular soil, and this one is vermiculite. And I haven't seen anything germinate yet. So these 2 are Pseudorhipsalis amazonica. I bought more seeds because I only had 1 survivor from my previous set of seeds, and these were also a failed germination in vermiculite. So I fished out the seeds and I decided to split it into 2. So this one is in cotton and this one is in vermiculite, but I haven't seen anything yet. This one is Sulcorebutia christiei, and this has done pretty well. That one on the side there is a little curly, which is weird, but I think it should be okay. I just noticed those 2 in the back there. They're sort of drying at the tips, so I think I'm going to repot this one as well. And this one is Ariocarpus furfuraceus, and only 1 managed to germinate. The vermiculite is starting to flatten here, so this one will also be repotted. This one is Astrophytum asterias Akabana. This one has the kind of dark purple reddish flowers. This one has germinated very well. This one on the right here is white for some reason. I wonder if this one is going to be variegated. I don't really like variegated cacti. I just don't like the look of it, but we'll see. This one is Stenocactus pentacanthus, and I only have 2 successful germinated seeds. This one will need to be repotted as well. This one is Frailea asteroides, and it's done very well as well. The seedlings are nice and plump. There's one in the back there, that one's rotted, so I only have 3. This one is Ariocarpus fissuratus, and this has also done very well in vermiculite, but the vermiculite is starting to flatten, so this needs to be repotted as well. This is Lobivia haematantha, variation ambliensis, and I haven't seen any activity on this one, so I'm going to see if I can fish up the seeds and retry again. And these are the rest of my seedlings. These 2 are new, and the rest I've had since last year. So these ones are Astrophytum caput-medusae or Digitostigma caput-medusae, and these were planted in vermiculite, but they were getting too tall, so I decided just to repot them. And these are repotted in just plain pumice, mainly out of laziness, and I feel like pumice should do well for seedlings because it's very airy but water retentive enough to keep them hydrated. dehydrated, so we'll see how that goes. I think it'll be fine, and I do plan on repotting the other ones I mentioned earlier in pumice as well. And these ones are Astrophytum myriostigma. Same issue with the other one. It's getting too tall for the container, and it's potted in pumice. You can see the body of the seedlings are very red. I think it's getting too much light. I did take it out of the tank, but it's still very red, so hopefully it's okay. So these three are Lithops verruculosa, Rose of Texas, and they survived the winter. I think these two had their first shed already, so they are good. This one I didn't notice shedding its first set of leaves. It was shriveled a little bit over the winter break, but I've watered this I think a couple times already, and everything seems fine. This one is Blossfeldia lilliputana, and it's done very well over the winter. It's very tiny, but it has grown a little bit, so that's good. And this one is my Lobivia mix seedlings. I think the one on the right is gone, but the one on the left seems okay. And these are my Conophytum uviform. I managed to lose quite a bit of them over the winter break, which is really unfortunate. So I only have two. The one on the left is splitting a little bit. This one, I don't know if it's still alive. It looks still green with a sheath on top. Hopefully it'll pull through. Yeah, but kind of disappointed how much they died. I guess it's partially my fault. I kept this in my bedroom and I tend to pay less attention to them when they're there, so it's partially my fault, but still disappointing. This is my Elaphifora williamsii, and I only have 4 left. I just had a closer look at it, and I think it has a spider mites problem, so I think I'm gonna repot this. I'll clean it up and then I'll repot it. This one is Rubutia pygmaea, and it's doing pretty okay. It was previously in a deli container, but I decided to move it in a pot just to save space. This is my Elaphifora frichii, and I only have 3 seedlings, but they seem to be doing fairly well. And this is my Conophytum mix. I only have 2 survivors, but they seem to be doing pretty well. This one is Lobivia bonnier, and these seedlings are doing pretty well as well. This is also in a deli container, but I moved it into a smaller pot just to save space. And these are my other Hildewintera colademononis, and these ones are doing pretty well. I did manage to lose a couple smaller seedlings here, but the rest seem very good, so I'm happy with that. Alrighty, so that's my video for today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!